We back.
My man, how you doing, brother?
Hey, everything is going good.
Good, sir. Good, sir. Man, we how we doing? We knocking these shows out, man. Uh, this show we gonna talk about, man. Daryl Bevel and the coaching staff, man. They not gonna make it for the game, man.
Yeah, so and it's really it's not funny, but what happened was I believe, something happened with one of the guys who's on the COVID list. One of the coaches I think actually did test positive for COVID, and he came in. He held like a meeting in his office, and so pretty much all of the main coaches were in that meeting, and so they were all exposed. They were all exposed to it. So of course they had to do a 5 day, like a 5 day quarantine. Um, Now this is the thing. The quarantine tomorrow will be the last day. So if they were playing on Sunday, this would be, a non-factor. And I know that Dale Bevel in his press conference, he said that, they tried their hardest to get the NFL to push the game back, to Sunday, so that the coaches could be out there.
Right.
But the NFL refused. They they refused.
I was gonna say, as you know, we let go Braden Combs last week. It
Yep.
was a lot of talk saying that Bevel
Yeah.
had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, he
Um,
did.
and now this comes about. Is that do you categorize this as karma? Because I seen
And
I seen Combs' wife put out there on social media. She says, the ball don't lie.
instant karma is what it is, man. It's instant karma because this is the thing. You're not you're the interim head coach, and yeah, he went against you, whatever be the case. People get so high on these power structures, and I don't think it was a good idea for Combs to do, to go against, the word of the head coach. But the thing is, listen, man, you're not going to be the head coach of this team in 2 or 3 weeks. So, you know, for you to try to get somebody fired the last 2 weeks of the season, it really just kind of showed how much of a, I mean, it really just kind of showed how much of a, for better or more words, just how much of I really want to say something else, but how much of an uncool dude he is. And I think that's the reason why you haven't heard about Dale Bevel being in head coaching searches and people, calling him for jobs, because I think your reputation follows you. And he hasn't had too much of a great reputation around the league. I mean, just being quite honest. And I think it's because of things like that. He'd throw you up under the bus, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Matt Patricia could tell you some stories, but but
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. A lot of fans don't remember. What was that? The first game of the season in 2019, where Bevel called the timeout, and then he was like, "Well, yeah, well, I thought that it was the best thing to do," and he kind of basically took the pressure off of him and put it on Matt Patricia, even though Matt Patricia wasn't the guy that called it. So, you know,
and he makes that move, but he gets mad at Combs for making his. See,
right,
my thing is, like you were saying, like we're in this transition of trying to find a new coach, well, new
right.
GM, hopefully a new
New
coach,
GM, new coach, new
new
staff.
new staff in
You
general.
know,
And with that said, um, why make that? Why upset? Why bring any kind of unlevelness to the team
yeah.
at this point? We're like
At this
damn near,
time,
yeah, we're almost
it
at the
looks
finish line.
it just looks, I mean, looking in on it, even from a fan standpoint, it just looked toxic. It's just like, dang, that's a toxic situation. They still, what I'm saying, they not even, because it's like, me personally, I didn't want Coombs I'm gonna be honest, I didn't want the guy to be fired just because he's the best special team coordinator that I've ever seen with the Detroit Lions. And maybe, just maybe, that I was thinking, if a GM comes in and you look at the team as a whole, and you analyzing the team on what you got good and what you don't have, and you kind of like, okay, I know I got a guy here who can keep my special teams, at least top five, top 10 special teams. That's one less thing that I got to do, coming in as a GM. I thought that he would be a good guy to keep over. We hope, like Ron Prince, the guy who is a wide receivers coach, who he will be the head coach of the game
tomorrow.
come Sunday. Right,
Yeah.
tomorrow. My bad, I said Sunday. But he will be the head coach come tomorrow just because, of what's the situation. And he's a guy that the players like. I know Calvin Johnson is really high on him. That's probably one of the last people in the organization that Calvin Johnson still even talk to or like. But that's when you have guys like that. He's been here through how many different regimes.
Right.
And he's a pretty good wide receivers coach. He's good at what he does, and I just thought maybe he could be a guy like that. If he didn't get a job somewhere else, that he could just stay here, keep his job. But
They had other
it,
plans. I think it was some. It feels like it was some type of resentment towards him because I think soon
it's
as when Patricia got fired, there was a lot of people calling for Combs to be the interim coach,
yeah,
and
it's a little it's probably a little bit of smoke and fire there. I mean, I heard that it had been brewing between them for a good minute. It had been brewing between them for a good minute, and I think that's because Coombs, he looked like he a young, confident guy. He's confident in what he's doing. The players that he coaches, they all came out on Twitter and
that was the
shed.
big thing for me. That was the
Yeah,
killer because players are going to tell you the truth. And when the players started coming out, I was like, "Yo, that was my guy."
yeah,
Like now you're turning the players who pretty much got 2 weeks left in this horrible season, not going to the playoffs. Now you got them having to see their coach that was putting in good work for us have to
yeah,
exit. What does that show
yeah.
for this team, man? What does that show?
Exactly. That's it. Just shows more of to me it's just more bull. It's just okay. They still the same. It's kind of like a same old Lions thing. Like they ran bad. And then you got. I mean, I hate this. Rod Wood, just in my opinion, he shouldn't be making any football decisions because I know that not Bob Quinn, but Bevel, he got the permission. He kind of called up front and was like, look, I wanna let this dude go. Quote unquote. So, um, I just think that Rod Wood should not be. He don't need to have no say in any on field matters. He just need to stay with the business side of stuff and handle that because he's not a football guy. He doesn't know he doesn't know what a GM is gonna have to do. He doesn't know how hard it might be for the Lions to find another special teams guy that can keep us that good again.
Right. And my thing is, I guarantee you, Coombs is going to get a job next year with a nice team. You're going to have that special team department looking real nice. I hope it
Yeah,
doesn't come back and haunt us and he's in the division, but
man, I hope it don't come back and haunt us in a different way. He was a guy. He's one of those young guys that people were looking to kind of take under their wing. Like they were saying in like 10 years, this guy, 10, 8, 5, somewhere in that timeline, that this could be one of the new head coaches or one of the best head coaches or best coordinators. So he might even get a coordinator position somewhere. I was thinking that maybe you would make him like an assistant coach or some type of higher up coach just to kind of keep him around. Guys like that don't last long, but
right.
I hope it don't come back and haunt us like you said.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep record that with the podcast. This is the Detroit Lions season, the podcast. We're gonna keep track of that, especially next year and for years to come, and we'll track back to this specific podcast if Mr. Combs comes out there and excels in the league. We definitely gonna come back to this and revisit this, man. But with that said, man, we're gonna go to the next segment. See you in a minute, bro. Appreciate you for the show. We out.
We out.